and get started with our meeting tonight. So let's pray. Thank you, Lord, for this beautiful evening you have given us, Almighty Father, to converge here on a virtual meeting and learn together, Almighty Father. Yes, for your leadership, yes, for your guidance, Almighty Father. And Almighty Lord, whatever we're going to learn tonight, Father, may give us the wisdom or to apply it in our day-to-day lives to enhance our professional growth. And this is our prayer in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you, everyone, for joining the conversation tonight.
Let's check on your volume. Check on your volume. We can't hear you.
How about right now?
Right now, we can hear you now.
All right. Thank you very much. I hope you have had the prayers.
Yeah, we had the prayers, please.
Thank you, Isaiah. So it's a beautiful evening. Thank you, everyone, for joining this conversation. I'm your host, and my name is Festus Mutua. I'll be hosting you tonight for this conversation, whereby you'll be talking about LinkedIn optimization for the job market position. So my question, I'd like to pose a question to everyone, and the question is, are you on LinkedIn? If yes, fantastic, we can continue with the conversation. If not yet, I'm going to pose a challenge to you. Please, after this webinar, can you please go and join LinkedIn? Can you open a profile, a LinkedIn profile? That will be very important. Please take that challenge. As we look forward to this conversation, I've done a basic research on LinkedIn usage in Kenya and Africa and worldwide. And in one of the research findings is that I've realized that in Kenya, LinkedIn is not amongst the 5 social media platforms being used. I've realized Facebook, WhatsApp, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram are the top 5. LinkedIn being among others, which I've not mentioned. So I think that's a challenge to us. We need to pose to ourselves. As much as we enhance our social presence, we need to enhance our social professional presence, because LinkedIn is a professional platform which gives us an opportunity to socially enhance our professionalism. So that's a challenge to us. I've also come to realize that in February this year, there was a research conducted whereby the findings were 2.4 million.
Your volume is still an issue. Your volume is still an issue. It's fluctuating. You can see the chart. Huh?
Okay, let me confirm that. Why is it so? How about right now? Am I audible enough?
Now.
Okay. At least.
Yeah, it's better.
I don't know, you lost me at which point.
Just go on.
Okay, just pick up from where I left. I was saying I've done some basic research on LinkedIn usage in Kenya, and the findings are that LinkedIn being a social media platform, it's not amongst the top 5 platforms being used in Kenya. Among the top 5 is Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and YouTube. So that's a challenge to us as Kenyans. For those who are residents, we need to enhance our social professional visibility through LinkedIn. And as well, from the findings, I've also realized that in Africa, in the northern and the western regions of Africa, people are very much conversant with the LinkedIn platform as compared to the eastern region. So as well, that's another challenge being posed to us. So tonight is a very interesting conversation because we are going to talk about LinkedIn optimization for the job market positioning. Reason being, I don't know if you know whether through LinkedIn platform you can land a job, you can get handed, and as well be offered an opportunity for a job opportunity. So tonight you are very privileged to We have a very amazing speaker, one of our own in the HR field, Elizabeth Biama, whom I'd like to welcome to take us through LinkedIn optimization for job market position. Elizabeth.
Hi, Festus, I can hear you.
Hello, how are you?
I am very, very fine.
Welcome so much. It's an honor and privilege to host you tonight.
Thank you.
Please take over.
Okay, I'll proceed and just start by saying that it's such an honor to get hosted by Jay, the CV expert, and finally be here, which for me is home. It's actually an incredible honor, and basically just to get to share industry experience and expertise, besides also getting to learn from everyone here. I mean, this is an ecosystem, and we also get to appreciate learning. Yes, so I am very grateful. I think I'll just proceed by starting. I mean, we are already late into the session, so I'll just get to share my screen. Yes, and get to intro. So I hope everyone can see my screen.
Yes, please, you can see your screen.
You can? Okay, great. Just a minute, I do a few things. Okay, well, I think I'll just get to proceed. I don't know why I can't see the whole of it. Or maybe I need to do this. Okay. Yeah, so I'll start by a little intro about myself, of course, and what you're going to be talking about tonight. I am Elizabeth Biama, and my background is in human resources. Yes, but well, my expertise is in the tech ecosystem. So I basically help people get to leverage their skills and competencies to win. Just like I said, my expertise lies within growth, strategy, and the tech ecosystem. And it's something that I love and I get to do so passionately, very effortlessly. And I feel like I just found my niche, and that's where I get to thrive. Yes. Amongst the core values as a HR, I know people out here struggle a lot with human resources, but I really focus on human centricity and just having like the human centric approach on how I get to approach my practice of human resource. And of course, I've had a lot of people coming to me and telling me that, Biama, you are such a different HR. It's just because I acknowledge that I get to work with human, and I really need to put their interest first, besides the fact that, you become HR. I mean, at the end of the day, we are human, and that is one of the core values that I embody. Yes. I also enjoy strategic leadership, and I fully and truly believe in that. And besides that, I drive change through technology and getting to empower talents in the tech ecosystem, and leveraging, or rather leading, tech talent initiatives, of course, and dealing with people and leading it with a human-centric approach. Yes, so tonight we are going to be talking about LinkedIn optimization. Tonight we're going to be talking about LinkedIn optimization. And so I'd like you to check me out on LinkedIn so we can also connect. I go by the name CHRP, Elizabeth Biama, so we can as well start from there and get to connect. I mean, get to, reach out, connect, and we'll have a chat over there. That's where you can find me tonight and going forward. Well, yes. Is someone said something? Okay, I'll proceed. So yes, we are going to be handling LinkedIn optimization, a little bit of personal branding, because that is also what comes with getting to understand tech. Yes, and job strategy. I'm just trying to figure out Zoom because I am not very, very familiar and I can't get to like fully see my slides. But either way, I hope you guys can see it. So yeah. So we're going to be handling LinkedIn optimization, personal branding, and job strategy. And even before we get started, I'd like to start us off with a quote. So this is what it says. In a world driven by technology, your personal brand is your greatest asset. And why do we say so? We say so because the world is really moving so fast in terms of getting to position yourself in tech. I mean, LinkedIn is a technology tool, and so it's very important just to get to position yourself and your personal brand online. We talk about the world now being a global village. Every other time we say that, and the fact that, of course, the future of work is remote, and it's something that we're also going to look at during this session. So then what does that mean? It basically means that you really need to position yourself strategically and position your brand strategically in terms of like how you get to communicate your personal brand online. And so for this case, or rather for this instance, we are going to focus on one specific tool, which is LinkedIn tonight. Yes, and so we're going to focus on LinkedIn as a personal branding tool. And what does that mean? LinkedIn is a tool that basically helps us to define your personal, your professional brand. Just a minute, sorry. Yes, sorry about that. So LinkedIn is a tool that basically we can say that it is the largest talent acquisition, talent cloud tool, and even I want to believe the recruiters in this session can attest to it, is that LinkedIn is what makes you findable. And why is it very important for recruiters? It's important because it's one place that will make you findable to recruiters, but also it is also another place where we are going to find the truth and the solid truth about it. Why? Because you will take your resume to a CV expert like Jay, and he's going to, polish it for you, polish it very well. However, you're going to forget that you have a LinkedIn profile, and that is where you're findable. And so if it doesn't like work together or rather correlate, then I mean, it's something that you see you're putting yourself into trouble. So yeah, basically, and that's it, that you need to, it is a tool to define your personal brand. It's also, we can say that it is a tool to network with different industry experts. And it's a place where you get to showcase your achievements. You get to showcase your achievements and career milestones. That's where you get to celebrate your wins, your failures, what you're experiencing, what you're learning, Yes. And a few statistics, we can say that 75% of recruiters use LinkedIn regularly. That is besides the fact that there are roles that are based on referrals, and there are roles that say in-house recruited, and so they are not going to be shared like publicly on LinkedIn. However, we can say that that's quite a huge percentage. Globally, for recruiters to get to use LinkedIn. And so it basically means that this is a tool that's going to give you a leverage for you to stand out and for you to, just get to also compete with the industry experts online for the limited or not so opportunities. So even as you get to look at the statistics, sorry, I can't see my screen fully, so I have to get to also use my phone. Yes. So mind-blowing LinkedIn statistics in 2024, yeah? So the members and companies who used LinkedIn, we can say that LinkedIn now has over 900 million members with more than 67 million registered companies online on LinkedIn, yeah? Basically, that means that this is the hub for opportunities for everyone, right? When you talk about daily engagement, around 16.2% of LinkedIn users log in daily, totaling to about 141 million daily active users on the platform, of which the platform sees approximately 1.6 billion globally, right? Those are global statistics. I know Festus tried to give us, or rather break down the statistics to what is here, or rather what happens here locally. And I think we'll also get to navigate and get to speak about that. However, when you talk about job postings, yes, when you talk about job postings and education, there's a growing trend that continues with more than job postings not requiring a degree. I mean, because of the trend of the future of work and what has been happening, especially post-COVID. And each week we see 61 million people searching for jobs on LinkedIn, right? And then when you look at the geographical distribution, the US remains to be the largest user base with about 220 million users, but 77% of LinkedIn users are outside the US, basically now the other part of the of the world, besides the one, the United States. And when you look at the demographic, men constitute about 56% of the user base, while millennials make up to 59% of LinkedIn user base, which makes me think, and which makes me really think, because I have had this question or rather discussion with a few friends and colleagues here and there, saying that, you see, we can say that millennials make up of over like 59%. And then we have the Gen Zs. Like, where are the Gen Zs? They are not on LinkedIn, or maybe the trend or the future trend would be us getting to recruit or rather look for talent on TikTok, because they also get to share experiences and such things. So it would also be easy just to go on TikTok and look for the skills that you're looking for or what you're looking to hire. And I mean, just pick a talent from there. It could be the new trend in the recruitment phase. Yes, and so when we talk about the premium feature users, there's approximately at least 39% of LinkedIn users have a LinkedIn premium account, which is a good to have. It's a necessary feature when you have the premium feature. However, I think you also need to just be strategic if you are going to subscribe to it, so that you also get to make the most out of it. Yes. So we have basically gotten to handle, or rather, just a basic background of LinkedIn as a tool and how it looks in the global phase, in the global ecosystem, so that even as you get to delve and dive deep into this tool that we are talking about, LinkedIn, and talking about LinkedIn optimization today, tomorrow, and everyone is telling you that you need to be on LinkedIn, we just get to understand what it really means to be on LinkedIn, besides now you as an individual getting to have your own account, or getting to have your own profile on LinkedIn. So let's dive in and see what is in it for us, having a LinkedIn profile, or rather having, and what it means for you to get to optimize and polish your LinkedIn profile. Yes, so we'll start with the must-haves of a LinkedIn profile. First, we'll talk about a professional profile photo. And besides this, I know that this is something that you're going to run through, see a demo, and I'm going to show you everything. So an important to have thing is a professional profile photo. Ensure that you have a photo that looks good, yeah? A professional photo, not a photo that is giving TikTok or Instagram, you know. Second is a concise and an impactful profile, something that makes sense not only to you but also, you know, because this is a pitch. Literally, it is a pitch, and we say it's basically what resembles you firsthand before even you get to look at resumes, because most of the time resumes can be done by anyone, but even as much as LinkedIn can be done by anyone, but it really reflects you as a person and who you are. Yes. Thirdly, we have a well-written summary. Ensure that your summary is well written, right? not too long, so to speak, but something that is in line with what you're doing, the jobs that you're looking for, what you're doing, your experience and your expertise, and also what you're looking to get yourself into. For example, what job are you looking to get yourself into? Most of the time, I would say that a summary on your LinkedIn profile is basically like a professional summary that you have on your resume. It doesn't need to be very long, possibly 3 to around 5 sentences, but then again, something that is very concise, very straight to the point. Yes, and then a well-constructed list of professional skills and endorsements. Goodness, okay, sorry, I got back my slide. Yes, a well-constructed list of professional skills and endorsements. Skills are very, very important because that is what is going to pick, it's basically what is going to leverage the AI tools that are going to pick when you search for a talent on LinkedIn. The endorsements are very necessary as well because it basically just gives you leverage in terms of you being a credible person, a credible profession on LinkedIn. Yes, and then we also have recommendations from peers and colleagues. And this is something that I also got to learn as an individual, that for you to get recommendations, you can basically do a template. I mean, right now we have very many AI tools around. So you can just do a simple template and then you ask your peer or your colleague to possibly review it. If they're okay with it, then they're just going to simply do the recommendation for you. Why do I say so? Because sometimes it is very difficult. It can be very difficult to recommend someone, or besides that, you might not get whatever recommendation that you want. Yeah. So in my opinion, it's better you curate it yourself. But also, I don't negate the fact that someone would be willing to do you a good recommendation and it would just make sense. So it's not like I am limiting it to the fact that you really need to do the recommendation and send it to someone so that they can just proofread. And I mean, it's just something that helps you with not possibly wasting so much time, or that person not taking so much time to recommend you. So it's a simple trick, yes. Involvement, the next one, we talk about the involvement in select LinkedIn groups. So once you get to identify your niche, for example, I'm going to use an example of if you're interested in, say, Azure, or if you're interested in Dynamics, you're going to join groups, or even HR or AI, you're going to join groups of people who are interested in the same subject matter or the same subject topics. And that's where you're going to also learn. And that's where you're basically going to engage and share ideas, share content. Basically, that is where you're going to network. Yeah. The next important thing is the education background. Yes, the next important thing is the education background. Ensure that your education is listed very clearly. And clearly, I mean, so that the education that is on your LinkedIn profile correlates, or rather is the same with the education background that is on your LinkedIn profile. I mean, education on your LinkedIn should be the same with the education that is on your resume, yeah? So that it just is in line. Next is the highlighted projects. Highlighted projects in this case could be what you have been working on. If you're in tech, you could share a project that you have been working on. If not, maybe an article, or basically there are very many projects that even at work you get to work on, or not specifically at work, or something that just contributes to your professional development. Yeah, you get to also share that. And finally, publications, projects, written works, if you do blogs, if you do articles, if you do whatever thing that you feel that is contributing to your to your professional development, and you feel like you really need to let it out there and people need to know, or it's going to give you leverage for recruiters to find you, then that is very, very important for you to as well get to share that. I hope to this point I am very clear. And yes, I'd love to take questions as well, possibly at the end of this, so you can as well start preparing your questions. Let's look at how and what I was talking about. Basically, when we talk about a professional header, and yeah, an informative profile headline. So we, again, I would say this and I would reiterate it, is that you have to like definitely have a professional headline, or rather a professional profile photo. What does that mean? It just basically means that first you get to understand your craft and you're present, you know what you're doing, right? If you have a photo that isn't really professional or isn't really looking as good, then it just, for me, it simply means that maybe you're not as serious. It just, there's a way it portrays you, yeah? So you need to be very, I mean, not serious per se, but I can say present. And yeah, I can say present in what you're doing and just getting to understand that this is what you want for yourself. I mean, so that even the images that you're having or the profile photo that you're having commands some type of job that you're looking for, yeah? It basically just shouts credibility, that you're a credible resource. And so even when someone reaches out to you, they know that this one, I know what I am looking for, and I know we can have a conversation to this point, right? I also just wanted to highlight the fact that I know people would say that you have to go to the studio to take a photo and all that, and some people might find it very difficult. Most recently, we had a lot of AI tools that we were just getting to try out. And I mean, they would just do the work equally well. Like you can see these two images here. They were, they're basically AI images, you know? So you can as well take your photo, whatever dressing you have, and you get to, you know, prompt it on whatever AI tool, and you just get to have an image that is presentable, that is cutesy and demure. Yes, I mean, a profile photo that is credible. Yes. Now, when we talk about a detailed LinkedIn headline, so what does that mean? A detailed LinkedIn headline is basically you having the relevant skills. Why? Because it really increases your findability, creating your professional credibility, and motivating your audience to also keep on reading the rest of your profile. Also, in this context, as we talk about recruiters, recruitment, and the likes, I'd like to reiterate the fact that when you have a clear and a detailed LinkedIn headline, especially when it is related to the job that you're looking for, it really increases the findability in the sense that your headline is the first thing that those are the keywords. The keywords need to be there. So basically, even when you're looking for, when you're searching, then, and this is something that you can also try out as an individual. For example, if you're looking for say, I can say for a HRBP role, I would go and search HRBP and see if my profile would be among the ones that pop out, right? And if it doesn't, then you have to go and look for the right keywords for the jobs that you're looking for, so that you have it on your profile headline. So that, I mean, at the end of the day, unless you're on LinkedIn and you're not looking for opportunities, but if you're on LinkedIn and you're looking for opportunities, then it's just prudent enough to ensure that you have the right keywords for the jobs, or rather the roles that you're looking for, your expertise, and your area of focus and experience, so that it just gives you leverage even in connecting with individuals, connecting with investors, connecting with consultants, and finding a community of people who are in the same industry or in the same expertise, so that you can get to share ideas. You can get to share ideas, and you can get to connect, network, and build a community as well for yourself. So here I have an example of a LinkedIn headline. Yeah, what we talk about keywords. Keywords here for me is software engineer, and then we have the relevant tech stacks: Python, React, SQL. So you can have whatever your industry say stacks or frameworks use. So you can have it over there so that it increases the findability. And then you need to also have at least a sales pitch. So what about the software engineer? And what about the Python? What about the React? I mean, what about it? What about the keywords? What are you doing with it? So I help companies build applications that scale up to 1 million plus users. So here from even the sales pitch, at least you can see that there's data and there's a call to action that I help build applications that scale up to 1 million plus users. There's impact that you create, right? So it's equally important to ensure that you have a sales pitch as well. It shouldn't be very long so that it is not too wordy again for it to be boring. Something very simple, concise, and straight to the point. I hope that is very, very clear. Yes. Okay, that's next. So when it comes to claiming your unique URL, and I know, and I have seen and I have experienced many people who don't have like a unique URL for their LinkedIn profiles, but this is something again that I am just basically going to show you guys once we get to check out or rather demo what happens on LinkedIn, just in case you have never experienced or just in case you have never gotten to see or rather experience what it looks on LinkedIn. Yeah, so to increase the professional results that appear when people search for you online, so that it's basically a name that is clear, it's straight to the point, it's not like a link that is just a link from anywhere or everywhere. So basically, when you talk about claiming your unique URL, it simply means that you're going to have a URL that has your name in it. I don't remember how it looks without. So yeah, again, to set your LinkedIn profile to public. Setting your LinkedIn profile to public basically just gets to mean that anyone and everyone can find you, yeah, because it's basically a networking tool, yeah. We've talked about the URL, the unique URL, and turning off your notifications or for your edits until you're ready to launch. This means that your notifications, unless otherwise, need to be turned off so that you're not updating everyone and anyone. For example, maybe you are applying for a job or you're putting up a post that maybe you don't want everyone to get updated on. And then if your notifications are on, definitely even your colleagues or anyone else is going to see it. So I think it's sometimes it just makes sense that you get to have your notifications off until you're comfortable which means that it's something that you are aware that you're letting it out to the world and you're very confident that this is something that, well, I have thought through it and I am ready for it to get out there. Then you can get to notify your network so that they can get to know and get to understand what you're looking at. And now that means that whatever you're sharing or whatever content you're sharing is basically going to be visible to your network. And now that's when you get to create impact. Another thing that I'd like to talk about is stating your experiences on LinkedIn. It's very important to ensure that I have really emphasized on this bit because it is something that we struggle with quite a lot. And it really feels so bad when there's a talent that you felt so confident about and then you get catfished just because the resume doesn't reflect the LinkedIn or the LinkedIn experience doesn't reflect the resume. And this happens in the sense that you will find someone who started a role in for example, 2018, and then worked through to 2022. And then the next role is from 2019 to 2024. And then you wonder, so what happened in between, right? And that's why I am trying to say that it's very important to have the job stated very clearly, and that it reflects what is on the resume. On LinkedIn, reflects what is on the resume. Remember, whatever is on LinkedIn most of the time is true. So once, as a recruiter, you get to check out what is on the resume, and when you go and look at what is on LinkedIn, just because, or rather, just by the mere fact that you will find most people would fail to update their LinkedIn profiles, but will end up updating their resumes. And I think it's just because of hype, the fact that, guys, you need to have your resumes in check. Your resume needs to look like this. If you want a winning resume, you need to craft it like this. There's ATS resume, there's modern CV. There are very many types of CVs right now in the market, and so you need to really work on it. And everyone wants to revamp their CV. However, it's very important to also ensure that whatever is on your CV, be very intentional about it, so that whatever is on your CV is basically what is reflecting on your work experience on the LinkedIn profile. I hope I am very clear on that, right? Yes, next we're going to check on the effective tools and also the feature aspect, and the certifications. So again, featured, I talked about, you can have project highlights, you can have published publications, you can have articles or whatever, dependent on your industry. You can have the relevant certifications that you feel proud and confident about. But the featured section is basically to highlight some of your key achievements. And besides that, we have the licenses and certification section that you also need to highlight the certifications in your industry. If you're CPA certified, CHRP certified, ACCA, Azure, whatever certifications that are very relevant in your industry, ensure that you have them right there. Yeah. Now, I would just like to highlight these tools because they are very, very important. Very important in the sense that these are tools that are going to help you, just get to polish your LinkedIn, profile, your LinkedIn, basically just like getting through your LinkedIn optimization as an individual. So these are AI tools that I have used them personally and for LinkedIn optimization at least once or twice. ResumeWorded.com. You can check it out. It's a free tool. ResumeWorded basically just gets to do an analysis of the performance of your LinkedIn, and it shows the percentage of how your LinkedIn profile is ranking. And afterwards, you're going to know what you need to work on, or what you need to improve. So it shows you from the headline to the about section, LinkedIn, about section, featured section, work experience, skills, and everything, dependent on your industry. So it basically shows you all that, and the percentage and the performance of how your LinkedIn profile performed. So it gives you a percentage and what you're going to work on. So from there, for example, Taplio Headline Generator is also something you can check out. Taplio basically helps you curate a very effective and standard headline, so that you're not there putting every word, everything, HR, business partner, talent acquisition, recruitment. It's like it's one and the same thing, but you're putting everything together. So Taplio Headline Generator is a tool that just gets to help you, it gets to help you like highlight or rather generate the perfect or rather the best headline for your specific experience, expertise, and industry. It also gives you the right or rather relevant keywords that that you can use for your industry. Yes, Canva, I believe that most of us are familiar with Canva. I want to believe so. Canva is a tool that you can use to get your it's what the banner, the LinkedIn banner. Yes, it has a lot of it has a lot of templates. There are a lot of templates on Canva that you can get to use and just generate. It's very simple, by the way. You can get to generate a banner for your own, dependent on how you want to customize it. And according to your personality, experience, what you think, what you feel, as long as it's something that is professional and it looks good. So I would also encourage that if you don't have a professional Canva, a professional banner, LinkedIn banner, you can check out on canva.com and find yourself one, create yourself one. It also just ensures, since Canva is also a tool that we get, it's more or less now getting to be a tool that almost everyone is using because of the simplicity of the designs. You can also get to polish your design skills by just getting to, create different designs for your LinkedIn banner. I'll talk about ChatGPT, which again is a tool that I want to believe that everyone gets to use on a daily basis. For ChatGPT, you can as well get to create the relevant experiences about section. You can use it to edit that. You can also get to create content for your LinkedIn. However, I would like to reiterate that please don't copy paste LinkedIn. Don't copy paste ChatGPT. That you go and just give ChatGPT a prompt and you copy the whole thing. It is very easy to understand ChatGPT lingo. It is very easy to understand ChatGPT lingo. Then you will not look like an industry professional or an industry lead just because your content is just AI, everything, So ensure that even as you get to use ChatGPT, you make your content have a human touch. Ensure that it's just a tool that is helping you to achieve something, but not exclusively doing the work for you. Yes, and then I have buffer.com that I have been using lately and I love it. Buffer, I use it for posting and scheduling content. So for example, sometimes there's a lot that is happening between work and life and finding a balance. Yes, and so buffer.com, I would think of a post and I would just basically schedule it on Buffer and the day and the date and the time, and then it would just once it gets to that time, then it would just get to publish the content. And I think this is also very important for people who do articles on LinkedIn, and you might not want to keep on like doing the post at that time or rather the article at that time and getting to post it there and then. You can as well just do several articles and get to schedule so that if it's on a weekly or if it's on, like a daily basis, at least you're assured that you have content that is going out. This basically means that you're going to be engaging with your audience, you're going to be growing your audience, and it also gives you an upper hand when it comes to visibility. So it's also important to schedule, or rather it helps. It's a tool that helps. I'm not emphasizing that you need to schedule your content and you need to schedule your content. I'm just saying that we have tools that are effective, that are tried and tested, and that are able to help us make work easier. And so if these tools are there, then it basically means that, why don't you get to try them, Yes, so I hope you guys have taken them into consideration. and have checked them out. Resume Worded, Tableau generator, a headline generator, Canva for your headline, ChatGPT, whichever one uses, I want to believe so, and buffer.com. So let's look at how we get to grow our audience. Oh, really? Okay. Sorry. Okay, before we head there, let me just highlight things to avoid on your LinkedIn profile. And one is using overly generic phrases. And this is like seeking new opportunities, actively looking for jobs. You know, we know that you're looking for jobs. I mean, I want to believe that almost everyone on LinkedIn is always looking for an opportunity, right? However, and this is something that I think has been said before, is that seeking it gives being desperate, or you're just vulnerable for roles, or you're not you don't understand or master, you're not a master at your craft. So I would encourage to give value, and this is what I tell people every other time. Even when you come and ask me, I will tell you that you need to stop using generic phrases, seeking new opportunities, actively looking for roles. I would prefer you giving value. First, getting to highlight your relevant skills and experiences, the roles that you're looking for. What value do you have to offer? What is the impact that you're looking to drive at? Those three things are going to help you become more findable for jobs and become more findable for opportunities on LinkedIn, as opposed to seeking new opportunities and actively looking for roles. You might end up staying on that same state forever, just because seeking new opportunities, there's no keyword. So it basically that just doesn't show what you're looking for, So even when someone gets to search for your profile, they're not going to find you, just because I am not going to look for seeking new opportunities. I'm going to look for a specific framework. I'm going to look for a specific skill. I'm going to look, yeah. So another thing is an incomplete profiles. After this, I would encourage everyone to go back, check out their profiles, and get to complete them. Just get to polish them. If it has taken a while before you got to polish your LinkedIn profile, I would encourage that that you get to go back and check it out. Okay. Next is overusing buzzwords. Overusing buzzwords here, I mean the people who, especially enthusiasts, is something that everyone would want to think that they are good at their craft. But basically, when you use enthusiast, it just means that you are just an enthusiast. You're not, you don't even understand what it is all about, Maybe you don't even have an idea of what it is you're doing. So dynamic, passionate, innovative, results driven, highly motivated. Those things are just buzzwords that everyone gets to use. And in my opinion, I would advise that you would go straight to the point, to the skills that are needed for the specific role, as opposed to using the hallway words, the corridor words, innovative, passionate. I mean, everyone is passionate, everyone is innovative. And if you want to be innovative and passionate, you will be. But if you get to use the relevant skills, they're going to boost they're going basically to be the keywords, and they're going to boost your findability. Another risk is overloading your profile with too many skills. This is a risk because we are not going to know what is your specific skill. What is the specific thing you're looking for? Because there are very many. It becomes too diverse, then it lowers your findability. It lowers your chances to be findable. It lowers your chances for you to be reached out to, just because it's overloaded. It's just too much. We cannot tell which one. Another thing is neglecting a professional tone. However much I have started seeing a trend on LinkedIn recently or lately that people are bringing in. I want to say the Facebook vibe. I'm not sure. I'm not on Facebook, but there's that bit where people are being easy on LinkedIn. But you would see these people who have like really either grown in their careers first, or people who have a specific audience. So I would just encourage that you keep a professional tone on LinkedIn. And when I say professional tone, I don't mean thrilled, enthralled, excited. You know those words. Again, for me, it's buzzwords. Just be real as you can. We say that there's so much power in vulnerability and accepting that you're vulnerable, even in the career space. For example, if you don't know something and you're trying to learn something, you're definitely not going to be, I am thrilled that I got to learn. I mean, just be so real and very authentic. Then you're going to make much more sense as opposed to being, just being extra. It will not make sense at all. So it's just equally important to ensure that however much you're keeping the professional tone, that you're also sharing things that are very authentic. Overemphasizing job titles over value. I just talked about this a while ago, is that you need to emphasize on value, emphasize on your skills, emphasize what you offer, emphasize what you bring to the table, so to speak. Yeah. And then not engaging with content basically will mean that your profile is dormant, a profile is dormant, you're not findable, no one can see you, no one can get to connect with you. So ensure that you keep on sharing content that is engaging as well. Yeah, and basically that's when we can talk about, appearing in searches and where your job is because these are the things that maybe you haven't really worked on, or you haven't really figured out. So I would encourage you to look at these specific aspects, so that these specific aspects, yeah, so that at least it improves your findability. Sorry, someone called. Okay, when you talk about growing your audience, when you talk about growing your audience on LinkedIn, again, I'll just run through this. You join conversations that matter, know and grow your audience. Basically, which is the audience that you're looking to build, or rather the community that you're looking to build. Discover the trending content in that specific niche and get to follow your leaders and the content that you like, and get to engage your people by sharing content. I think there's a goal on LinkedIn. I think three posts to share per week, 3 comments. There's actually a LinkedIn goal for the content that you get to share. Yeah. You also get to post updates. It helps you stay on your networks rather. And again, it just helps you build your professional image. Mention the projects that you're working on, the books you're reading, the articles that you're writing, the events you're attending to, and the likes. We say many recruiters search and read your feed, but also we say that people hire people, right? And so recruiters will also find you online and they will connect. We are human and we love to connect with people. So a recruiter will definitely want to connect with you just because of the content that you're sharing, what you keep on sharing, and what it is of value that you have. So it's important to get to learn and engage with your audience every other day. Finally, as we get to conclude this phase, I'd like to highlight the LinkedIn job strategy, and especially because we have a lot of jobs that get listed on LinkedIn every other day. It's important to apply between the days, the peak days, 2 to 3 peak days. That's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday most of the time. It's also important to limit your application to at least 10 jobs, focusing on the similar roles to minimize resume adjustments so that it's not every other day, every other role you're adjusting your resume. It just makes it easier, a lot more easier. And then for the LinkedIn jobs that are usually posted, I would encourage you to apply to the positions that are posted within the last 24 hours, because recruiters would find a bulk of applications. So you want to be among the first ones to get to apply for the job. Yes, a few tips and tricks in your career as you look to, as a job strategy. First, I would like to say you need to nail your niche, master your craft, be good at what you do, be so good at what you do that it becomes easy to express yourself. It becomes easy to communicate your knowledge, your experiences, and your expertise. Secondly, is put in the work. And when I say put in the work, I mean that no one will do it for you. You really have to drive yourself to do it. And even when you're looking for roles on LinkedIn, you have to push yourself in terms of putting in the work so that you are not even applying for anything and everything, you're applying for something that is very credible. Another thing is to research the market and industry, specific industry. I love tech, and so I definitely want to read a lot more about what is happening in the tech ecosystem and what is it that, what is the future of the industry, where is it headed, what are people doing, and you want to keep abreast with the trends and what is happening. You also need to document your process. And this, I mean that, of course, first, when you get to share your content on LinkedIn, it's basically like a documentation of the process, but also, can you guys still hear me?
Yes, Liz, we can hear you.
Okay, yes, but also even the roles that you're getting to apply for, it's important to share, to document the roles that you have applied for. I have a template for that. I don't know how I can get to share it. Maybe I'll share it with Jay so that he can get to share with everyone on email. But it's a spreadsheet. It's a spreadsheet template that is very useful, where you can just get to track the job that you're applying for and the process and the stages of the interviews, where you're at, where you're, if you've talked to the recruiter, if there was a response, if there was no response, if there was an automated response or not, Yeah. I would like to also tell you guys to honor your journey. Everyone is on a different journey, and it's just honorable for you as an individual to get to honor your journey, respect your journey, and trust. I don't want to say trust the process because it's a cliche, but then again, it's just as good to honor your journey so that you can track the progress, you can track growth, you can tell from where you came from to where you're headed. So it's important to honor your journey. Determine your value. This will help in you on when it comes to like putting a price cap to your value prop. Once you understand your value proposition, I think that is such a huge leverage. It becomes even easy to negotiate for salaries, for rates if you're in the gig economy, but also confidence. It also builds on your confidence when it comes to the interviews or when you're just getting to negotiate for yourself. We also talk about branding yourself appropriately. You don't want to be everywhere doing anything and everything. Pick a specific niche that you feel comfortable about and that you're going to stick with, and then you can brand yourself and create a brand, or rather you can also be an industry leader or a thought leader in that specific niche. Yes, and then get to market yourself to the right employers so that, sorry. Sorry about that, guys. I was talking about marketing yourself to the right employers. Okay, marketing yourself to the right employers basically means that you're going to be sharing your content or whatever thing that you're going to be sharing, and that recruiters are going to just to be able to see what you're doing, or rather the employers are going to see what you're doing. So whatever jobs, especially on LinkedIn, the jobs that you're looking for, you can follow the company, you can follow the recruiters, you can follow the founders, the CEOs, from those specific companies. And then even when you get to share your content, they're going to be within your circle, within your ecosystem. And so your content is going to be visible to them. And for example, if you're looking for a product role, these people are just going to see, I'm just giving an example of product and product management, that these people are going to see what you're up to, what you're sharing, what you're learning. And then they can easily vouch for you just because they see value, or they see what you're learning, or they see, progress. And that's why I emphasize it's just as important to get to share specific industry experience on LinkedIn. So it's not like Instagram, it's not like TikTok, where you're going to share stuff that is not really necessary or professional. But on LinkedIn, it's very, very important to keep it professional, because that is basically like your online resume. Yeah, it's like a trailer. So we need to see what is happening, what are you doing, and you want to keep it very, very professional. Yes, I think at this point, we get to the end of my presentation. So if you have questions, I'll take them at this point, and then we'll get to proceed to the demo on LinkedIn. Yes. Again, you can follow me on LinkedIn at CHRP Elizabeth Biama. I'm also available on email. Yes, at lizbiama.com. So I think at this point, I'll get to take questions.
Thank you very much, Liz, for such an insightful presentation. We do have a few questions on the chat, and the first one is from Owen. Caleb, please mute yourself. The first one is from Owen. Owen is asking if it's advisable to paste your resume in the LinkedIn profile.
If it is what?
Advisable to copy paste your resume in the LinkedIn profile, on your LinkedIn profile.
It's going to be so long. How are you going to copy paste your resume on your LinkedIn profile? However, there's a place where you can upload your resume on LinkedIn. So that I have seen people doing the easy apply, the easy in apply on LinkedIn for jobs. There's always a place where you can upload your resume, right? But copy pasting it won't really make sense, because it will just be too much wordy, and people want to read through, and move. Unless he shares it as a link.
All right. Another one from Owen as well. What do you do when you try to connect with people in your field, but they do not respond? I think this is on the chat box when chatting. The message.
Yes. Please go ahead.
Another one from Owen is asking, what do you do when you try to connect with people in your field, but they do not respond? I want to believe this is direct message. Yes, I also want to believe so, that it is direct messaging, because if you connect with people on your field, they'll definitely get back. First, I think it is the approach. You need to be very specific with what you're looking for, so that you're not doing a 500 word, like a whole paragraph on someone's DM, especially the fact that Kenyans are lazy, they don't like reading. You might end up, someone may end up not reading what you're writing. So in my opinion, first, there needs to be value, like what you're sharing, or rather what you're asking, what your ask is, needs to be very valuable, be very strategic, yeah? And thirdly, if you need to have a credible profile, and that is what you're talking about right now here. Because having a credible profile is going to give you a leverage or an upper hand when it comes to connecting. I would want to engage with Festus just because I have checked out your profile and I'm interested. You understand that your profile is actually giving. I want to engage with someone like you because you have built a credible profile. So if you don't have a credible profile, then you will find people ghosting you. Thank you. Thank you. That's been responded to. We have another one from Nyambura. She's asking for your guidance on how to capture additional duties that she does alongside her official designation, especially those acting positions which are higher than your official designation.
Higher positions that are high, what? Okay, I can read it here. Hello, how do I capture additional duties that I do alongside my official designation? So it depends. Do they contribute to the roles she's looking for? Do they contribute to her professional development? Then depends with, she can add the skills on the skills section. If she has certifications, she can as well add the certifications on there. If it's a role, she can add it, of course, on the experiences, but just ensure that it relates with what you want so that there are not two different things or three different things. For example, you are a virtual assistant and you share a different field, like, skills in a very, very different field, they would not, relate. However, I have seen people who are trying to transition roles, especially because this happens a lot in tech. Then I would advise that whatever skills that you have from your previous role, for example, if you're in marketing and you're looking to get into data or roles in the data space, data analytics, data science, data engineering, and all that, you can get to explain how you got to use your data skills in your previous role as a marketer or your previous role in customer success to make data-driven decisions. You can talk about the NPS scores, the CSAT scores, whatever, market shares and the likes, because those are data-centric. And then now you relate that with how it's going to contribute to the role that you're looking to find yourself in. I hope that's clear.
Thank you, Liz, for that. On the chat, Jay has shared a WhatsApp channel link. For those who want to get timely job updates, please click the link and join the channel. We have two more questions to go, Liz. We have one from Martha. She's asking for your advice on how you can connect with professionals on Premium.
So you spoke about connecting and LinkedIn chat, but unfortunately, majority of professionals are on Premium. How can you advise on this? Well, I think once you connect, once you connect, I know first there's always like a fast messaging chance that you can get to message. That's just like an elevator pitch. You can get to leverage on that. And secondly, is you connect, they connect with you, then you can talk to them, you can get to reach out to them. And thirdly, is that the other option is for you to pay premium so that all of you are on premium. Then it gives you extra access to reaching out to them. Oh, Robert says, hey Liz, this webinar has been incredibly valuable and I can already see the benefits. I hope this is a question of participating. I have a question. If you're studying and working simultaneously, is it accepted to mention this on both your LinkedIn profile and CV when you're applying for a job? Yes, absolutely. And especially if you have projects that you're working on in school, it is also very important to get to highlight them so that it's a build up to what you're looking to achieve, or rather to what it is basically like hands-on experience. You're having the right skills for the job. So ensure that you also get to highlight the projects, the portfolios, something you're building or something you're working on. I mean, this is in terms of tech. I don't really understand different industries. Yes, but ensure that whatever project or portfolio or something that you're working on, you get to highlight it on your resume, on your LinkedIn, so that people can see that there's something that is going on, there's something that you're working on. And basically, this is what I talk about content and sharing value. So people can even come out and get to advise you and tell you that this is how you should go about this. I mean, because you're still learning, so it's very effective to speak about that. Is it possible to share? I hope this is the last question. Festus, please guide me. Are we going to do the demo?
time that we are 15 minutes past 9. We can do it in the next session. I think that would be
Okay, fine. No worries. Is it possible to share your side job experiences at the interview level if they're adding to your skills in the current application? What do you mean side job experiences?
Think like volunteering roles, those might be some of the side jobs.
Well, if you have the right skills,
I meant,
if you have, okay, I want to believe
mean-
side jobs is not moonlighting.
I meant, let's say you're employed maybe as a sales manager, but
Yeah.
additionally you're doing some consultation, which is also aligned with whatever you're applying. For instance, maybe you are applying for a sales manager position in a different company. Whatever you're doing consultation, but you are a sales manager and also doing consultation, which is additionally adding to the experience that is needed to the next level job, the job that you're applying next.
Okay. It's in my opinion, I would say that you are doing your consulting and consultancy, or rather running your consultancy, and you're having, or rather you're getting specific skills that are adding value to the role that you're looking for. So I would say you would highlight the specific skill on the projects that you worked on, and maybe just not getting to highlight the role. This is different, again, depending on the roles that you're looking for, depending on the companies that you're recruiting for. So you can as well just get to read the room and get to understand. I mean, just so you stay competitive and abreast with the industry that you are interviewing for. But yes, I would recommend for you to highlight the skills and experiences. Remember, this is something Esther Kachiba, I think, talked about a while ago, some few days ago, and she said that jobs are very transactional. So definitely, as recruiters, we just want to know about the skills that you're coming in with, and we really don't want to, know the other things that are happening around, but then ensure that you get to communicate very effectively so that it doesn't get to affect the productivity of your jobs, so that it's not like you're in between roles. And even for people who get to moonlight, most of the time I would just get to encourage, or rather advise them that ensure that you communicate clearly, so that first, you don't get yourself in burnout, and second, so that you get to negotiate for accommodating deadlines for deliverables. You might think that you're having one, you can actually juggle in between jobs, and then you have really crazy deadlines on both, and you end up experiencing burnout, which again doesn't make sense, because you're losing, or rather you're losing on your end. So I think it's just very important to ensure that you communicate effectively, so that both parties are aware that this is what is happening and this is what is going through. I mean, right now in the industry, we have gotten to appreciate the fact that doing 3 or 4 or 5 jobs is actually it makes sense, And so one important thing is just getting to communicate effectively, so that it's clear, but also get to highlight the skills that you have, because that is what is needed for the role. Yes. Any other questions?
Thank you, Liz. I can see you've tackled all the questions. In a minute, please, can you give your closing remarks?
Well, my closing remarks. Is that like a parting shot? Anyway, I'd love to say that yes. Okay, I'd love to say that I am truly honored to be hosted here, and I am looking forward to connecting with everyone who joined here on LinkedIn. Please reach out to me. I definitely get back to everyone. Yes, and I want to believe that most of the people as well I have gotten to possibly connect with. Yes, I'm excited. I would emphasize one important thing about networking, that reach out to people, connect, network. Just because people hire people and your opportunity is just next to you, Yeah, so ensure you connect and you become very strategic. Thank you so much. I'm truly humbled.
Thank you so much, Liz, for such an insightful and engaging presentation. I'm sure everyone has gained a wealth of knowledge on how to enhance their LinkedIn profiles and leverage the platform for greater market visibility. And I believe there's more into this conversation. So I think we should hold another webinar on the same, and as well get in-depth conversation on the same. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. This webinar has been brought
I was
to you
looking
by
forward.
JC.
Sorry to cut you short.
Sorry?
I was really looking forward to sharing to sharing like the LinkedIn thing and doing it with people, right? And like they are following through each and every step and process. However, I think that is a session for another day. Maybe we can, I don't want to promise, but we can do it some other day.
We'll make some arrangements and do it.
Sure. Great.
So thank you very much. This webinar has been brought to you by JCVs, a HR consulting firm based here in Nairobi, Kenya. And our key focus is making you employable. Part of our services is recruitment services. We do CV, cover letter writing, and LinkedIn optimization as well. We do interview coaching and career coaching as well. And we do offer training development services to organizations. Those are some of the services we do offer at JCVs. So if you need any of these services, please feel free to reach out to us. We are everywhere on social media platforms, on LinkedIn, Facebook. If you search us on Google, you'll be able to find our contacts. And as well, it would be unfair if I don't mention that the webinar host, who is JCVs, has partnered with Esther, Conversations by Esther, and Impact Team as well. As well, you can search for these organizations on the social media platforms and you get to know much about them. So thank you everyone for joining. I'm very happy and privileged to host you tonight. And it's been indeed a very engaging conversation and full of wisdom. I'm looking forward to the next webinar. We do this on every Thursday. So on Thursday, we'll be having an upcoming webinar. Please make sure you are kept updated and join the webinar conversation. We learn together and grow together. So thank you very much, everyone, to all our participants. Thank you very much for being part of this. And without much ado, let's say a word of prayer. I see you again on Thursday. I was your host, Festus Mutua. So let's pray. Thank you, Lord, for this beautiful evening. We thank you because it's been a moment of learning. And Almighty Father, we are asking for your wisdom as we implement all this what we have learned, Almighty Father, tonight. As we look forward to the next conversation on Thursday, Almighty Father, continue